Hello everyone and welcome back to SliverStar Arcade and more, the great Ace Attorney. Once again, I am here showing off just one of the ways the title screen changes, which I always think is cool. In the last episode, we explored Mr. Natsume's lodgings, and we didn't find a whole bunch. He does have a cat, but it kind of ran away. And we once again ran into our good old friend, Herlock Sholmes, who, basically told us that the man upstairs, Mr. Gerardib, I can't quite remember, is basically hiding something. Alright, so I rather enjoy the smell of books, but it's overwhelming in here. So, yeah, so we are going back to Gerardib's room. Just make sure all my equipment is working. Hopefully you can hear me over the audio. 19th February, Mr. Gerardib's room. Oh, you pair again. Oh, I hope that's the voice I gave him. Tell me, was the detective chap, I forgot his name, still hard at work down there? Mr. Herlock Sholmes? Ah, yes, rings a vague bell. All that detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid. Ugh, I did not like how his Adam's apple undulated there. Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his element down there. Jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Joanne. Now then, why don't you tell me what... Ah! For the umpteenth time, woman, will you watch what your belly... What your bally will do... What? Alright, the English is getting too old for even me to understand. I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir. Yes, of course. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to take your leave, if you would be so kind. Oh, yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for all of your assistance. Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with young foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Gerardib is hiding something. And since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging. Huh. So I guess if you didn't explore everything originally, then you would have to do that before he shows up, but yeah. What's he doing over there? Mr. Sholmes? Aha, we meet again, my dear fellows. Good gracious, when did you sneak in here? Herlock Sholmes, sir, at your service. Whatever were you doing over by the window? I am given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madam. Yet sadly, cheerfully as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks an aperture for such observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here. Well, keeping an eye to one's window at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering. Ah, and one other thing, Mr. Naruto. Oh, me? I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind. Wait, he's not talking about... Is he? I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon. Do you mean Mr. Sholmes? There is a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naru. Okay, I'm pretty sure I've been pronouncing the name wrong. Naruhodo. 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 Is it Naruhodo? Naruhodo. 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 Nah, that's gonna keep bothering me. Alright, we're just gonna keep saying Naruhodo. Naruhodo. No. Oh. I think so. There's just time enough for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let us conclude the matter before dark. Oh. Well, I guess it's a good thing I saved this for a new episode. Which probably means this is going to be a long episode. Mr. Garadib, though it would seem you're a military man of considerably distinguished service, your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what one might call first-rate. I'm afraid, sir, that it's all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I've been able to draw by careful observation of your living arrangements. I beg your pardon. The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care. Ugh. And the second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you. Miss Naruto, look! The old man's broken out in a cold... Oh, wait, no, that's Ryosuke. The old man's broken out in a cold sweat. Unbelievably, it seems Mr. Scholl's conclusions are both spot on. How could you possibly... How could I possibly know, you mean to inquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. Ugh. And I know only too well the wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reason Spectacular. The Great Deduction. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Nature of the Beast. It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on a rampage of late within these four walls. Thus, we are faced with the question, what form might this beast take? Ah, for a man with military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garadib, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by the lion statue. Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. Okay. A fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts. What is this piffle, I ask you? Nope, that's Fairplay's voice. In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you tried to keep in this very house. What? Yet living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you had imagined. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well... Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to, madam? Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction. It is? Your dress pocket gives us handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. For protruding from it is a handbill advertising a circus show. Oh! Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Garridib, at Batty's Circus. Hold on, what was the name of the circus in the last game? Well, not last game, but like... What was it? Was it the second game it was in? I think it was the second game. A traveling show currently sojourning in a nearby park. I have observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe. I most certainly did not. I believe I have made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. And a simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through a ring of fire. Conclusion. A rampaging Asiatic lion? What, is that supposed to be like just Asian lion? Aftermath. Topic number 2. Now, Mr. Garridib. It is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress that this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Amid fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage. Nonsense, man! I simply... But what we must now ask ourselves is the true cause of this pain. Oh, even the maid opened her eyes. And we need to only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is this pile of bills that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. Oh! For cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household. And so you had no choice but to let it go. It was probably the cat, now that I think about it. How much you want to bet it was the cat? The cat came in and started a fire by knocking stuff over. Yes, well, Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last, unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? The aftermath of which can clearly be seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, dearie me. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? Oh! This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eyes have settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes. Oh! There is no creature more dangerous on this earth than a beast with an unsatiated appetite. Was it or was it not once said by a certain noblewoman, if they have no bread, let them eat cake? Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact. Whatever do you mean? Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. I'm sure I need not spill out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. Well, sorry about that. There is only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. The teeth marks in the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion I once saw in India. Conclusion. Carpet gnawed on by the starving lion. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle. Ah! What is the matter with you, Joanne? You're pouring scalding hot tea all over me. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Garrideb. I'm afraid I didn't notice. My deduction can be startlingly sharp. It stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times, too. Oh! Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation? Why, certainly, Mr. Naruto. What is it, again? Well, your deductions just now, do you really think a lion could fit inside a room of this size? Indeed, it is the only explanation for the facts. The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense. Ah. So the opposite of Occam's razor. Oh, whoops. Whoops. No, how do I... There we go. But wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well? But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Garrideb and his maid would have been hurt, or worse. Ah, that's where you are stuck. No doubt the former military man held his own against the beast using that large cannon. I thought you said they sold the lion to the circus. And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I've ever heard of a lion that drinks tea. Ah, my dear Mrs. Soto, it occurs to me with some regularity that irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands, irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on Great British soil, they are infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying now. As soon as you touch British soil, you crave tea. Oh, what a glorious notion. Well then, Mr. Naruto, it's your turn to shine again. I had a feeling this was coming. A slight massage, that's all Mr. Sholmes' deductions need. You can do it! Excellent, I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruto. Alright, 1 second. I'm an idiot. I looked it up. It is Naruhodo. Mr. Naruhodo. God, I'm such an idiot. My Japanese friends can never see me play this game. They will be so disappointed with me. I am recording, right? Okay, I'm recording. Nothing's muted. Okay. We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsume's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least, that's what I want to believe. Let us start again. From the beginning. Of Herlock Sholmes' Logic and Reason Spectacular. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Nature of the beast. Rampaging Asiatic lion. It surely shouldn't take a great detective to see. The fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus we are faced with the question, what form did the beast take? For a man with military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garridib, leads us directly to the answer. The true food nature of beasts is rampant here is revealed by that lion statue. I really didn't see the lion thing coming. No, but if you observe Mr. Garridib's reaction, it rather seems as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room. Yes, something with a very fierce nature. But it couldn't have been a lion transported from India. So what was it then? We must follow Mr. Garridib's gaze. That will lead us to the true answer. Alright, check everything just because it's fun. Well, this is the lion statue that Mr. Sholmes picked out. Yes, I wonder. Perhaps if you did live with a lion, it would prove to be a rather sweet companion. Oh, sorry. I think that's like a mouse trying to tell its family that the cat around the house is sweet. I suppose it is a bit of flight of fancy, isn't it? Anyway, the beast we're looking for is something else. Let's have a good look around. Oh, it doesn't give me a check mark. Okay. Oh. I see what it is. But I want to check out the mortar shells first. These are shells from the cannon, are they? What a strange place to keep them. I imagine they have some significance to Mr. Garridib from his time in the army. Ah, of course, he mentioned the battle to us before, didn't he? Do you remember? He said that he'd been shot in the knee. Perhaps it was one of these that hit him. If a round that size hit his knee, there'd be nothing left of it. Or Mr. Garridib, for that matter. Mr. Sholmes has a Persian slipper. This man has spent shells. Perhaps it's customary in Britain to display, well, rubbish on the mantelpiece. Anyways, here's the real thing. What's this photograph? It appears to be from Mr. Garridib's wedding. Oh, is he married to the maid? Is the maid actually his wife and they just have a maid as to not look poor, because Sholmes did mention earlier about having a maid made you middle class? He looks very happy, doesn't he? He does, but you can't make out his bride. No, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face. I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deep there. Mr. Garridib. This must have been when Mr. Garridib was still in the army. He seems to be carrying his rather stout bride effortlessly, and beaming a smile at the same time. I suppose he was very strong in his younger days. Hard to imagine now, he's as thin as a rake. The glass is broken, so you can't see the bride's face at all. But no amount of cracks could hide the woman's plump form. I think powerful would be kinder than plump, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, she certainly looks that. There's a lot of horsepower there. Not someone you'd want to upset, that's for sure. Oh, look! Have you noticed her wedding ring? It's very large, isn't it? Yes, that's an unusual design. It looks like some sort of embellished sunflower. So we're going to we're going to present this. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that newlywed bride. Precisely, Mr. Naruhodo. No other explanation could possibly fit. Yes, this framed print pictures your wife, Mr. Garridib. And while we lament that her face is obscured, we can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. Oh, indeed. Surely any woman with such a powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast. Honored might be a bit of a stretch, might be stretching a point. Too late, the fact remains that the beast, which so clearly savaged this room, was your wife, Mr. Garridib. Ugh. The chill and traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well. Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to, madam? Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it's plain to see with one glance in your direction. It is? Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. That poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself. Well, I don't know about fragile. Oh, dear. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of a Mrs. Garridib anywhere. But it seems there may be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garridib's wife could be. Wee! Oh wow, this is trippy. I like this. Can I click on... No, I can't click on the cannon, so that'll have to... Wait a minute. Oh! That's an interesting detail that you would never get to see because of the way the camera works. There's broken glass by the door. There's also a couch here. Huh. Anyways, teapot. What a charming little teapot, and it's in pristine condition. Joanne has been pouring some deliciously fragrant tea from it for Mr. Garridib, hasn't she? Well, not so much for Mr. Garridib, as on Mr. Garridib, wouldn't you say? I wouldn't dream of drawing attention to it. But no, what actually, can I actually zoom in on the things in her pocket? Yeah, okay, I can. That certainly does appear to be a circus handbill poking out from her pocket. Batty's Circus, currently performing shows in a park not far from here. You don't think? Surely Mr. Garridib didn't sell his wife to the circus. Mr. Naruhodo, how could you even think of such a thing? I was only joking. Besides, I would have gone with, do you think he fed her to his pet lion? That's somehow worse. Two tightly shut eyes to avoid even the chance of a giveaway glance. Pursed lips to prevent any secrets from slipping out. Rounded cheeks to deflect any abuse that might be hurled her way. Yes, this is an unnervingly powerful woman, Mrs. Soto. It's your turn of phrase that's unnerving, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, it's the maid. I'm not even sure if I should voice this. It's impossible to believe it could be true, yet for some reason the thought came into mind that this servant maid is in fact a mighty goddess of destruction. What precisely was your intention with that, Mr. Naruhodo? Just followed the natural progress of deduction. Sometimes the truth hurts. Well, the truth is, you do not have a turn for observation or deduction. Did that hurt? Yes, a lot. What? The dress gives a handsome clue as to who it was that caused all damage in this room. Yes, Mr. Garridib's wife. It's just a question of finding out where she is now. For some reason, I feel as though she's very... But... Take that! Years ago I read about... Oh, so there's a line for getting it wrong each time? Huh. It was an old Arabian tale inside the pot. was a genie who, once unleashed, wielded the power to destroy the whole world. What precisely was your intention with that, Mr. Naruto? And I didn't save before this. Shoot. Okay, wait a minute. Is it just straight up the pocket? Okay, wait a minute, let's... Here we go. That was tricky. That one was kind of... Oh, whoops, I'm peeking the mic. That one was kind of tricky. She's wearing a very large ring, look. Oh yes, a sunflower design with some rather nice embellishments. And it's on the ring finger of her left hand, which means it's surely a wedding ring. It looks like it's on there for life too. I can't imagine it would slide off a finger of that size. That's something to think, Mr. Naruto. Not to say. Do you know Mr. Gyarudib's wife in that photograph had a ring very much like this one? It was a large sunflower design as well. Really? You have a great memory for these things. A large sunflower wedding ring. It's quite a coincidence that they have the same ring, isn't it?
Take that!
I still think Maid would have been an okay answer. Your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Oh! Indeed it does. That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. For it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Gyarudib's bride in this photographic print. In other words, you are no ordinary household maid. No. You are Mr. Gyarudib's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Gyarudib herself. Oh my word! Well, jolly fine deduction, sir. As you rightly surmised, this is the wife, yes, my Joanne. Rather let herself go, you might say, but she was a bullycock. Ah! It would appear you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct? It's not right, I tell you. I was 2nd Lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has pride, don't you know? By golly, it's a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ. Yes, here in London, one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though, in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearance are a folly. You mean Mr. Gyarudib has his wife work as his maid? Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Gyarudib? Only in company, obviously. But listen here. This must remain a secret. Tip-top secret, please. The raging wife of Mr. Gyarudib. Carpet gnawed on by the starving lion. Now, Mr. Gyarudib. Oh, listen to this music. It's more intense than the last. Now, Mr. Gyarudib. It is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is verbally tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel revealed by that supporting arm. Why do I yawn every time I record? Mr. Sholmes is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Gerardib's wife a beast. Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable. But Mr. Gerardib is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he? Oh, how true! So perhaps that supporting arm that seems to be propping up his head has some other significance then. According to Mr. Sholm, Mr. Gerardib's pain is tangible though. What could that pose of his really signify? Alright, so let's start with the pipe.
That's a very large pipe, isn't it?
Yes, anyone who has something that size hanging out of his or her mouth on a regular basis is sure to have a serious chin like Mr. Gerardib's. But what's that white binding around it all about? Oh, maybe he's upset that his pipe got broke? Supporting arm.
Mr. Gerardib certainly looks glum.
According to Mr. Sholm's deduction, that's because he's having to endure the acute pain of losing something dear to him. But we know that he hasn't lost his wife.
So that means there must be another cause for the pain he's suffering.
Is it the fact that he keeps having hot tea spilled on his dick? No? Okay. Something to do with the cane? Wait, what's that? Is there really only... Wait, what was... Nope, that's still the supporting arm. Wait, what? Oh! Yeah, I can't even see that. I only can tell... Oh, I see it now.
Oh my! Look at that bright red mark! Gosh, that's quite something, and clearly made by somebody's hand.
Yes, Mr. Gerardib has been slapped on the face, it seems. Hard.
I've never seen such a clearly defined mark. Whoever could have done such a thing?
Well, there's a very limited number of candidates, I'd say.
Ah, I keep hitting that.
Take that!
Ooh, that looks bad. Your head weighs heavily on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that slapped cheek. And of course, the delivery of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade. Was you, Madame Joanne Gerardib? Well, yes. You have been desperate to hide the slap mark on your cheek, sir. Ugh. Oh, so that's why he's only been looking at us from the side. How the blazes! Did you work that out, man? His face actually... He looks cool and intimidating from the front. Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep your other side from view. Well, Now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you the subject to such a violent slap? In other words, we must ask ourselves, what caused Madame Gerardib to fly into a rage?
And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is this pile of bills that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Didn't Mr. Sholm say that the bills were all for lion fodder? Yes, but now we've established that the lion never existed. Which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Garridib's wife. Mr. Naruhodo, she's a person, not a thing. Yes, well, she's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. One so hard that it left a perfect handprint, in fact. Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder? I'd love to know the answer to that question. Pile of bills. Oh, I just saw it. Oh no. Look at all these bills. It certainly amounts to a great deal of food. Meat and potatoes by the cartload, was it? Well, looking at the two of them, you can tell immediately who eats the lion's share in this household. Well, at least we're no longer talking about an actual lion anymore. Yeah, that's... okay, but I want to see if there's anything else. Ooh, stack of books. Explore everything. There are a lot of books stacked up on the shelf here. Look, all novels that I've never heard of. It would appear somebody has purchased them all from a second-hand bookshop. I think Mr. Garridib is something of a book lover. Broken plate. Oh dear, this place has been smashed to pieces. And nobody seems inclined to tidy up the mess. Perhaps it's some sort of high art? Really, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, anyone who has a cannon on display in their living room is clearly a little eccentric. Yes, let's call it eccentricity. Boy, you in the doghouse tonight. Ah, someone must have been reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look. Mr. Garridib is clearly an avid reader. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark. Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note. Written in a woman's hand. Wait, what? You can tell how it's written? Or who wrote it just by their handwriting? Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. And look at the signature here. Lip marks made with lipstick. Oh, what a passionate and romantic gesture. Okay, idea, Sasota-san. Oh dear, I'm sorry. So this bookmark is actually a love note then. Love note. Do they say anything different now that we know it's a love note? So this card looks like it's been used as a bookmark is actually a love note. Yes, read in, oh James, I love you, yours, Mary. But Mrs. Garridib's first name is Joanne, isn't it? Yes, I believe we may be heading into dangerous territory here. It's very conspicuous after all, isn't it? You mean the bright red lips next to the woman's signature? Yes, it's the first thing you notice, of course, and it rather makes your heart skip a beat. Ah, I keep doing that. Yes, it is this love note that has been given rise to the pain you suffer. Oh, James, I love you, yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. Oh, Jesus. That ring probably hurts like hell if she punches you with that. Perhaps the sender of this note, a certain Miss Mary, is the fly in the ointment here? That's... But I don't know the Bali woman. You don't know her? That note wasn't written to me. It's just in the book. I don't know how it got there. It was just in there, you say? That's right. That's what I've been saying. A likely story. Now listen here, Joanne, old thing. I explained at the time. I bought the book at that second-hand place, and that note must have already been in there. So, the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean? That's right, that's why I've been A likely story. For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name, it's written to James. My name, in case you'd forgotten, is John. A likely story. Are you questioning my name now? And there we have it. Ah, my chest hurts. Arouse the suspicious of the female heart and you unleash a beast with the most fiercest bite. Ferocious bite. Ugh. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? I'm having way too much fun. The aftermath of which can clearly be seen by observing the carpet over there. Very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, dearie me. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? Oh. This time, madam, I'm afraid it's you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eyes settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes. But surely Mrs. Gerda didn't eat the carpet. No. Because if she did, she wouldn't be married to a man. I'm sorry. That is... Yeah, that was uncalled for. No, of course not. But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray that this room is in is a result. It is a result of her wild temper. No, that's true. So this is the last part of Mr. Sholm's deduction that we need to fix. We need only follow Mrs. Garridib's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer. Alright, let's see what we can see. Yes. Okay, Tower Cakes. Ah, so many cakes. Ah, is that all you can think about? Well, look at them, Mr. Naruhodo. This is a mountain of them, and they all look so delicious. It's more of a tower than a mountain, I'd say. It's a mountain, and it's my hope that one day, in our very homeland, I will be able to perform the tea ceremony at the foot of such a mountain. It's definitely a tower. Circus handbill. This is an advertising handbill for the circus. Batty's Circus. It's in a nearby park. Isn't this the same one that we saw earlier? Isn't this the same one as we saw earlier? The one that was folded up in Mrs. Garridib's pocket? Perhaps they're very great circus lovers? It couldn't be that Hungry Lion is somehow evolved again here, could it? Oh dear, I do hope not. The carpet here has been ripped to shreds. Yes, and according to Mr. Sholm's deduction, the tears match those made by an Indian lion's teeth exactly. Oh, look here. What is it? If you look closely at the edge, you can see scorch marks. Oh, yes, so you can. In that case, perhaps the carpet wasn't eaten in the normal sense at all. Let's rethink this with that in mind. And then the candlestick. This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it? The base looks too small. Surely it's very unstable. It looks to me like even the slightest knock would make it topple over. Oh dear, that would be dangerous. Wait, take a closer look at this. There's one candle missing. Yes, I didn't notice that before. Why is that, I wonder?
Why is one candle of the 3 missing from its holder? So wait, is it the Alright, wait, 1 second. We are going to... Can I not pause? Alright, we're going to take a stab in the dark. Wait, what's the thing? Dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick, I think. Okay, alright, so it was the candlestick. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick. Most illuminated, my dear fellow, and of course the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. Indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away. Scorch marks? It would appear that this room was the scene of a little material altercation. Or, wait, what did that say? Was that material? Or... marital altercation. Mrs. Garridib's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face, but on the entire room. The force of her strike caused a candle to fall from the holder. And in seconds the carpet was alight and the whole corner of the room in flames. Yes, For the most ferocious beast in the world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire. And in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there is but one conclusion here. After the sparks of marital discord flew, this room was the scene of a fire. Oh, shit. Grandpa's getting up. Mr. Sholmes, sir. I salute you! Oh no! Someone call Life Alert! Nice catch! Carpet scorched by a small fire. Deduction completed. Elementary. It's these dashed long winter nights, you know. Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just round the corner. Buy all my old novels there. And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material. For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems. Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be rather closer to the mark. And beast is most certainly an apt description. Here we go again. And the carpet, was that destroyed by fire when the candle fell on the floor? Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. I was caught between the old stick's rage. The old stick's rage and the raging flames. You paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining. That's sympathy for you. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being. Over here, Mr. Garridib. Well, you have nothing more to hide now, if you'll allow me. Ugh, yeah, that sucks. Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got a hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke. Gosh. Then the wife started hurling things at me.
What a terrible sight it must have been.
There I was, back up against the window, under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books incoming 10 to the dozen. Worst of it is I lost my favorite book, called The Lion's Pride.
The Lion's Pride. Ah, yes! Your notorious love of big cats coming through again.
I assure you the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest.
So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's rampage. Mr. Sholm's deductions turned out to be correct once again.
It can only be described as a great British wonder. I tell you, it was total carnage. Flames everywhere and the old stick in full fettle.
Out of interest, what time of day was that?
Not sure I can remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see, around 5 o'clock, I think.
So exactly the same time as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window on the street below.
Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. The whole of Blighty could have been flattened outside my window at that moment, and I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing.
Oh, really?
Well, this is quite something.
Mr. Sholmes?
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo? What can I do for you?
Well, I think we've gotten to the bottom of Mr. Garrett situation now. But what does that have to do with Mr. Natsumi's circumstances?
I can't help you there, I'm afraid.
What?
My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I warned you that although I knew the retired army man to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove to be of relevance or not.
I just knew you were going to say that.
Now, Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only two categories, those relevant to the case and those not.
That makes no sense to me.
Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now.
Sorry?
Visiting hours at the prison will be over soon.
Oh no, is it that time already? If we're to accept Mr. Natsumi's case, we have official paperwork to attend to. So that's it. No more time to think. Perhaps you'd like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell. Oh, wait.
Perhaps you'd like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell now. I must prepare supper for Mr. Garrett.
Oh, yes. I'm so sorry. Thank you both very much for your time. Suseki-san will be waiting for us, and I'm going to have to give him an answer. Just one last look. What a miserable sight. Oh dear, but at least the whole room wasn't engulfed in flames.
I suppose so. But my whole collection went up in smoke, you know. All those novels I adored so much.
Tisk, well, John, whose fault is that? Oh, I keep getting her voice wrong.
Not mine, that's for sure.
Well, whoever may or may not be to blame, I'm quite sure you can buy some new old books to replace them, can't you?
New old books. Bally nonsense.
It does sound like a contradiction in terms, but then these two are full of contradictions. That's couples for you, Mr. Naruhodo. Or so I've been led to believe. Oh, Okay, and we're just going to talk to him one last time before ending the episode.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Naruholo, but I'm afraid it's supper time now. I'll have to ask you to leave.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. If we linger too long, Mrs. Gyarados will start pouring tea again. No one wants that. Alright, shall we go then? No doubt Soseki-san is beside himself in his cell, waiting for us to return. I can't afford to spend any longer making up my mind.
Oh boy, and with that, we are going to end the episode. That was good. I was like this episode genuinely got me to laugh, and I'm so happy to be recording again. And I'm going to make an effort to record every night, because it's kind of crazy to think that almost a full year, like I'm already 3. If we're talking about my channel's anniversary, because that's how I split stuff up, since the beginning of the 2nd year, or I guess it's the 3rd year of the channel, I've only played 2 games, this game and the Wild at Heart, and I haven't finished either of them. And I really wanted to make this year better than the 2nd year, but this is a very long game, and I have been terrible with upload schedules, and so it's mostly my fault. But yeah, hopefully, speaking the mic, but hopefully, yeah, we'll sort that out. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay safe, have fun, and have a great day.